How are you today?
I'm doing all right, thank you. How are you?
Good. So what brings you in to see me today?
Well, I am one of four, so I have three sisters, and my middle sister, who is closest in age to me, she is a recovering heroin addict.
Okay.
She has been sober for almost a year, coming up on a year, and it's been a pretty tumultuous journey getting her to this point. This past time was her third time going through rehab, and just it's been a really long journey getting her here. But this past year, she's been doing really well, and I've been really surprised by her progress. But actually, just earlier today, I was scrolling through Facebook, and I had seen that she had posted a photograph of herself with her ex-boyfriend, who she was seeing right before she actually went into rehab this last time.
Okay.
And it wasn't a good situation. It wasn't a good relationship. So I was really surprised to see them together. And so I reached out to her, and I tried to do so in a non-confrontational, non-judgmental way, and just say, I just wanted to just check in with you and to just make sure everything's okay, because I was surprised to see the photo of you together.
Sure.
And she reassured me. She said that she is still clean, and that she doesn't have any plans to go. Doesn't have any plans for that to not be true anytime soon. But that yes, they had reconnected. He's freshly out of a program himself. I think he was incarcerated for a while.
Gotcha.
But that they've reconnected, and they've been spending time together, and possibly will be rekindling the relationship.
Okay.
But that she doesn't foresee it being problematic. And so I am kind of struggling with that, because, on the one hand, I understand that she's an autonomous individual, and I want to respect her freedom, and I want to trust that she, has the strength to make her own decisions. But on the other hand, it really does, kind of scare me.
Sure. So you're worried that their relationship getting back together is going to trigger her to relapse.
Yes.
Something's going to happen. There's going to be a fight. They're going to be around a people, place, or thing, and they're going to end up using. You're more worried about her rather than him.
Yeah.
So you would rather see her with someone else?
I would rather see her with someone else, or with no one else.
No one.
For the time being.
Sure.
But specifically not him.
So how did they meet? Did they meet through using?
It's really unclear to me how they met. It's really unclear to me. But yes, she was full blown in drug addiction when he started coming around.
Okay. Now, what are your thoughts and perceptions of him? What do you like personally? Minus the drug use, did you think he was an appropriate fit for your sister? Or do they just kind of...
I don't, honestly, I think I maybe have been around him for 30 seconds. I don't really know him personally.
Gotcha.
But from what I do know of him, I know that there was some infidelity on his part, and I just know that it was not good. I just don't have a good feeling about it.
Okay, so it sounds like to me the only thing they have in common is drug use.
Yes.
Okay. Now, you said she just got back from an inpatient program.
She was in an inpatient program. She was in a sober living house for a couple of months. She's been on her own, but with a strong, supportive community in Frederick for, I want to say probably 3 or 4 months now. She's been out on her own. She's out of the sober living house.
Okay.
But I think she's with a roommate. They share a private apartment, and they're both in the program.
Okay. And then this guy, where does he live? Does he live in Frederick too, or is he...
Unknown to me. I know that he's in the Frederick. So when she initially picked the program in Frederick, my older sister and I were a little concerned because we knew that he was also in that area.
Gotcha.
But at that time, he was either in rehab or in jail. We weren't quite sure which.
Okay.
So we were concerned about that, but there seemed to be no contact for quite a long time. All like a little under a year, probably more than 6 months. He was just not even in the picture at all. We didn't hear anything of him until just now.
So when you reached out to your sister, what did she say back to you after you said, like, I'm kind of concerned?
She said that she appreciated the concern. She said basically, I have not relapsed. I'm not using drugs. I'm still clean. But yes, I am. You know, we have been spending time together, and with the potential to rekindle the relationship. She did say that she didn't understand why my older sister specifically has such a negative opinion of him, and she kind of feels that's unfair, but understands and appreciates the concern, but basically this is what I've decided.
So she's not, backed into a corner saying, you guys are judging me, this is who I'm going to be with?
No, she was not confrontational, she wasn't aggressive, she didn't have any kind of, and I was kind of surveying for that kind of response, so I was impressed, and I was glad to see that she was reasonable and non-confrontational about it, not defensive, but still I just do still have some misgivings.
So when your sister is like full-blown using, do you know what she's like what the signs are, like drawing from family? So have there been any signs, or
no?
Okay.
She has been steadily and full-time employed for the first time in a long time. Like literally, I don't think she's ever had a full-time job.
Awesome.
She has been working, and she's been really happy, and she's also been like in contact, like a lot, like steadily with me, emailing, messaging, just like in constant contact. And she's been doing really well at the job. She had some like adjustment issues in the beginning, like with a certain coworker, and she reached out to me. We talked it through, and I was really glad to it was good. It's been really good. She's been in contact, so no, she hasn't been showing any of those signs.
Good. Is she attending any outside support groups, NAAA?
Yes, she does attend regular meetings. She's also in a methadone program, so she has to go there daily.
Great.
And she has a very strong, active support network of like her program.
Good.
People within that program.
So have you reached out to any like Al-Anon groups regarding support for family of people who are addicted to drugs? Have you attended any of those meetings?
I have not attended them with her, but yes, I have. I have in the past. I haven't anytime recently, but yes, I have.
What are your thoughts on those?
I think it's a really good resource, and it has been a good resource for me in the past when I was going through that.
Okay, so it sounds like you're really happy for your sister, and she's doing well, and it sounds like you're thriving on that, which is awesome. So you're just scared that something's going to trigger her to go back to that.
Yes.
Now, how many times has she relapsed?
Quite a few.
Quite a few.
Well, like this, I think this is her third or fourth time, and this past time that landed her in rehab was the worst by far. But she has overdosed multiple times and like had to be revived, like legally dead.
That's scary.
Very scary. But even that was not enough. Right? She even went further down. Before this last time was particularly bad. So I do worry. I mean, I think she's running. I don't think she has much luck left as far as that goes.
So how does that make you all feel? Like the overdoses, plus with everything that is in heroin nowadays, that she could easily relapse again.
Scared.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it scares me.
Now, do you hang out with her often? Do you guys do activities together? It sounds like you guys are pretty close.
We are close. I love her, but I have to have her in metered doses.
Sure.
Because we butt heads she can get to me like nobody else can on this earth.
Does she know that?
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
So we have a good, and since she's been on such a good path, like since she's been doing so well, like that door has opened a little bit more and more, and I've been inviting her back in.
Sure.
It took a long time to get to that point because of how bad things were in the past. So we talk a lot, we are in communication a lot. I see her more than I did. She lives kind of far away, but we make plans, and so I see her a lot more than I did in the past.
Okay. Where do you live?
I live in like Manchester, Lineborough, and she lives in Virginia.
Okay, Manchester, Virginia. Or is that Maryland?
Maryland.
Okay, yeah, that's pretty far. So as a family, do you guys sit down and express your concerns to her that you do have this worry that she might relapse?
Well, I reached out to her today because I was worried. My older sister, she doesn't really communicate very well. They don't communicate very well together.
Okay.
So she kind of reached out to me after, well, actually I had reached out to her and I said, did you see this photo of her and Timmy? And so we dialogued, but she told me I haven't talked to her because I know it won't go well. So she kind of like was hoping that I kind of take on that role.
Sure.
And so our dad, he lives out of state. He lives in Georgia, and he is involved. He's very involved when she needs him. Like he has been there when she has needed him the most. But he kind of can't handle. We try to keep him kind of on a need-to-know basis. So he was very involved when she last was at the very bottom, and he came in and really helped to get her into rehab one more time, and kind of was supportive to her, saying, I will support you, but you need to do the right thing.
Sure.
But, we don't really talk about it with him that much.
Okay. Are you okay with that?
Yeah, because he just can't really handle it.
It's intense.
Yeah.
It's very intense. Are you okay with her being in a methadone program? Do you think that's kind of has she ever been in one before?
She hasn't, no.
So do you think the methadone's kind of helping her? What are your thoughts on methadone programs?
Well, I talked with her extensively about right before she went into rehab, because I was the one who kind of was the one to kind of convince her, like, you need to get it together, or this is it,
right.
This last time. Because she kind of listens to, even though I think we're so similar, that, that's why we butt heads so much, but I also can get through to her where many others can't. So we talked extensively about that before she went in to rehab a little bit, and then after she finished the program and was going into the sober living outpatient.
Okay.
And she had expressed that she was going to start the methadone program, but that her hope was eventually to not do that and to do the injections.
Okay, like the Vivitrol?
Yeah. So I don't know where she stands on that right now, but it does seem to be working. I did say to her, you just really need to think about it. You really need to make sure it's the right thing for you, because certainly you trade one for another. It can be good. It can be bad.
Right.
And so far, it seems to be doing her good.
Good.
So she is gainfully employed. That has never happened before. She has been fired. Heavens, more times than I can count.
So are you
impressed by that?
So you're kind of like in shock, maybe in a good way, that she is kind of.
I kind of feel like I want to say I believe in you. You're doing such a great job, but inside I'm holding my breath.
Okay.
I'm waiting for.
All right, so
I'm waiting for it to come crashing down.
So that's what you're internally struggling with.
Yeah, because it's been so many times we've been through it, and of course it's never been this good, but it's been so many times that I'm I don't know how to let go of that.
So it's too good to be true. You feel like something's going to happen.
And now that he's
he's came into the picture, you're well, he could be a bad influence.
Yeah.
Is he on methadone or Suboxone or any sort of
honestly
therapy?
I really don't know. I thought he was in jail. but he was incarcerated.
Have you asked her if he's on any sort of, opioid maintenance treatment?
I have not asked her that yet. I had to come right over here, so I'm planning to speak with her after today, later this evening. So maybe I will ask her about that.
So it's good about methadone. It helps prevent overdoses, which
Yes.
which is awesome. But I can totally see, especially when someone's been drug free for an X amount of time, their tolerance lowers. So I totally understand why you're waiting for it to crash down. Is there any specific time frame you're kind of wondering when that's going to happen? Is it like a pattern?
She has never done this well for this long.
It's been a year, right?
It's almost been a year, yes.
Okay.
But I guess I've just the pattern has it's been so many times. I just don't. I don't know how long it would take for me to be convinced.
Sure.
I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I want to believe, and the longer she does well, the more that shrinks, that feeling. But I don't know how long it would take for that to go away, if ever.
Now, does you and your family kind of feed her with positives sometimes?
Yes, our relationship has improved greatly. And I try to be really, like I said, when I initiated this conversation, I tried to say, I made a point to say I'm not, this isn't coming from a judgmental place.
Sure.
At the risk of pissing you off, this is just a check-in. I respect your autonomy. I respect you as an individual and an adult. I know you are capable of making your own decisions, and I support that. But I just want to tell you, it made me feel weird.
Sure.
And so I know that I have changed the way that I speak to her, and I have seen the interaction between her and my older sister, that has been much healthier as well.
So what can you do to kind of ask your sister, in a non-judgmental or confrontal way, things about this guy that's back into her life? Could you ask her certain things that, what's, is he on methadone?
Yeah.
What's he doing for his recovery?
Yeah.
Is his recovery number one? Have you thought about what you're going to kind of say to see where he's at in his recovery?
Well, I think I will just ask her outright, and I won't, I'm gonna try to be just calm, and, I appreciate my older sister saying I can't communicate with her about this in a way that would, I know it's gonna go bad. I respect her saying that, and I'm glad that she isn't gonna broach the subject with her right now, because it wouldn't be good. And so I'm gonna just keep that in mind, and I think I'll just be direct, but without being judgmental or, having an attitude about it, and just say, just ask her outright, these are the things I'd like to know, and can you answer these questions?
So would you be interested in bringing in your sister for a session, or your mom, or, your sister and her boyfriend maybe even, if, down the line, to open up that communication, to kind of have a neutral party in here to facilitate things?
I think that would be really good.
Awesome. Well, I'm interested to see where this goes, and I will see you next week.
Excellent. Thank you.
You're welcome.